I have been diagnosed with what most of you guys know as What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So I wanted to reintroduce myself. My name is Kyle. I am 28 years old, turning 29 in August. What the f? I am 28, turning 29 in August. That's crazy. And I'm a female to male transgender advocate on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And I've been making content in regards to my transition for about 6 to 7 years now. Honestly, it feels like it's been like 30 years, but realistically, it's been like 6 to 7 years. And I started off doing it just to document my personal journey and to take the opportunity to meet others that were like-minded people and people that were either going through their own transition or people who supported the community. I grew up in a very small town, so I didn't have a lot of that kind of support or people that understood what I was going through, so I resorted to social media to find those people. It's pretty much gotten me to where I'm at right now as a part-time content creator, and I've loved the whole journey. Not a second goes by where I regret any of the decisions I made to put myself out there and share my story. But I've just gotten to a point in my life now where I obviously am much more than just my transition, and there is another side of me that I would like to kind of tell the world about, and I feel like it's something that a lot of people can relate to, and I can reach another community of people who deal with the same type of situation. I guess I've always just stemmed away from talking about other topics that didn't have to do with like the trans community, because I was kind of afraid that I would lose a lot of people who did care about me or who were like me. I don't want my audience to like obviously go away just because I don't post just trans stuff. So I guess I kind of just like avoided talking about anything else, but I have to remember that at the end of the day, my transition was for me, and anything else I decide to talk about on my social media platforms is at the end of the day for me, and whoever wants to stick around can stick around, whoever doesn't, I guess. But luckily it was nice to reach out on my YouTube channel and talk to you guys about whether or not you would like to see some of this new content on this channel, or if I should make a whole separate channel specifically in regards to the topic I'm going to talk about in a little bit. And a lot of you guys were saying that you would watch me regardless because you come to my channel to see me and not just specifically what I'm talking about, which is really nice. I have to remember that I am human, and hopefully people are watching me for my personality and what I have to say, but mostly for my personality. So to get to what all of this is about, I have been diagnosed with what most of you guys know as social anxiety and panic disorder. So some of you guys are probably like, whoa, how the heck do you have anxiety or like panic disorders or social anxiety at that? You literally are a content creator. You tell a bunch of strangers every day about your everyday life. Like, how can you be anxious? And you'd be surprised how many social media content creators have anxiety, and a lot of the reason why we resort to social media is because we can talk to people online. We don't have to talk to them directly. We don't have to see them face to face. It's a way for us to be extremely social without actually being social, if that makes sense. So I'm one of those people where I ultimately went onto social media because it was a way where I could interact with people without having to be face to face, and it just worked out for me. So if you don't know what social anxiety is or panic disorder is, I will let you know right now. So neither one of these diagnoses are like brand new. I've known about them for quite a while now. I just haven't talked about them, so don't think I just found this out. I've known for a little bit, but I'm just now feeling comfortable and confident about sharing it online, which I've wanted to for years. I just kept pushing it off, like I said. Social anxiety is when you fear being judged. You think that a lot of people are out to get you. being around large crowds, or it doesn't even have to be large crowds, but just being around people in general can make you very anxious because you feel like all the attention is literally on you. I guess to put it into perspective, imagine being in an auditorium full of people and you're the only one in your underwear. You feel as though everybody is staring at you, but in reality, obviously, you're not just in your underwear, but you still feel like all eyes are on you, that something is wrong with you to where everybody's just staring at you and judging you, and it can be very difficult to do a lot of everyday tasks like going to work, going to school, going to big family gatherings, going to concerts, anything with like people. And so I was actually diagnosed with that a few years ago. It's more recent, I guess. I was diagnosed with it while I was in college, and it's been really, really hard. And I think that is the main reason why I am on social media, because again, I don't have to talk to people in person. But unfortunately, this disorder has affected my life, not only with strangers, but even with people I'm close with. So with family, with friends, and with past relationships who couldn't handle it. So unfortunately, it is something that affects a lot of my everyday life, and anyone else that deals with this same disorder, I can imagine has the same problems. As for panic disorder, now this is something that I've had for as long as I can remember. I think my first panic attack was when I was like 8, and that's when I was diagnosed with it, because I ended up going to the emergency room for it, because obviously back then me or my family didn't know that I had this, and so we went to the hospital thinking I was literally dying, but in reality I just had a panic attack. And I think this one is a lot more scarier out of the two, but they also go hand in hand together, because when I am in social situations, it can turn into a panic attack. So panic disorder or panic attacks are pretty much when you can hyperventilate. You can have very big like anger fits. You can have like meltdowns where you just cry and cry. It can be shown in many different ways, but I guess I'll just talk about how it affects me. For me, when I am in a panic attack or an onset panic, I hyperventilate and I feel like I can't breathe. My throat feels like it's closing up, similar to like asthma, and my heart beats very, very quickly. My hands get very sweaty, and it pretty much feels like I'm having a heart attack sometimes. And again, it can be very hard to deal with this in everyday life because you never know when it's going to happen. It literally can happen at any time. It can be triggered by many things. It can be triggered by nothing. And unfortunately for me, mine happens to be triggered when nothing happens. So I could be sitting here right now. I can kind of feel it right now. Like just me talking about anxiety makes me a little anxious, which gives me a feeling of panic a little bit. So I could be sitting here right now doing nothing and I can't breathe. And just like right there, I took a deep breath. It's because like I'm getting worked up. But I'm in a place now where I can kind of cope with it for the most part, but there still are times where it's just unbearable. So those are the two disorders that I have, social anxiety and then panic disorder. And again, they both go hand in hand. And the reason I wanted to bring this up and why I like the idea of incorporating this topic within this channel is because my transition plays a part into the social anxiety part of things. So I would like to share that side of my story with my transition so that I can either show people that it is okay to feel this way, it can happen, and then eventually I'm gonna learn my own coping mechanisms and be able to share it with you guys. And then if you guys have ways of sharing your coping mechanisms with your anxiety, then you can return the favor. So yeah, I think this is gonna be good. It'll be good for my channel. Like I said, have been pushing this off for so long, but I've wanted to incorporate this in my life and in my content creation for a long time, because when I make content, it's to help other people and to meet people who deal with things similar to me, because it helps me cope, and I would love to think that it helps others cope with the things they're going through, because really, we are in a huge world of people who deal with things very similar to us, and A lot of the times we think that we're dealing with things alone because we don't know anybody personally, but I can't even imagine how many people also have the same disorders I have, how many trans people go through the same exact experiences that I do, and if it weren't for social media, I would never meet these people. So I will always continue posting about my transition, and I will always now continue posting about my anxiety and ways to cope and just deal with it. And I also plan on sharing stories of things I've had to deal with family, with ex relationships, and all of those things that have to do with my anxiety. This was kind of just like an overview of what a lot of my content is going to consist of in the future, and I hope you guys do stick around to hear what I have to say and just kind of be of support with everything I talk about. I do appreciate every single one of you who do engage with me and conversate with me and comment and subscribe to my channel, because it means a lot. And I'm hoping that with this we can broaden the spectrum of people that I have on my YouTube channel, and we open doors for people who have anxiety disorders, and I think it'll be good. So lastly, I wanted to say I'm still doing the giveaway. I'm pretty sure I was saying that I'm going to give away a pair of sweatpants from the brand Change, and I think they're a size small. So I'm gonna drop the giveaway winner down in the comments under this video when it goes up. And if you win, just either email me or message me and give me your address and your name so I can ship it properly. And if it's not something you actually want, or it's not gonna fit you because it's a specific size, and you wanna give it forward, I can just give it to the next second place winner and we'll go from there. So again, thank you guys so much for just being here for me, and I love the little family we built, and now I'm happy that I'm talking about something new, something different, and hopefully we get a new audience that can join our little clan. So as always, I love you, and from here on out, stay true and be you. Peace, guys. Pew.